Hello, and welcome to Movie Stuff and Things, because reviews and theories would just spell rat. This episode, we look at the Stormtroopers from the Star Wars. Episode 4, A New Hope. People have commented about Stormtrooper Aim for as long as I can remember. Couldn't hit the broadside of a Star Destroyer and all that. People use Stormtrooper Aim as shorthand for inaccurate, despite the phrase taking longer to say. However, we have that line from Obi-Wan.
These blast points, too accurate for sand people. Only Imperial Stormtroopers are so precise.
I can hear someone already saying,
"But Obi-Wan is a liar from a certain point of view."
Okay, but look here. We have the Stormtroopers killing rebels in the first scene we ever see them on screen. But here we see R2 and 3PO walk through at a slower pace than an overburdened turtle on a glue trap. Why did they choose this path? Why so slow? C-3PO is a poorly designed droid. What are you, a bunch of scrap and junk thrown together by a child? But I digress. The droids are missed by both sides, despite plenty of plasma perforating the place they are passively progressing through. Why would this happen? I can hear you, Kevin. No, not plot armor. We can come up with an in-movie lore reason. Once again, we go to Obi-Wan with the line,
"The Force can have a strong influence on the weak-minded."
And you can see how easily he can implant ideas into the Stormtroopers.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Move along.
And later, in the aluminum Vulcan, we see Luke swinging Vader's saber about. Obi-Wan exposits again.
A Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
You mean it controls your actions?
Partially.
Partially. The Force can control the actions of mortals. And it has a stronger influence on the weak-minded, and your average Stormtrooper has been shown to be weak-minded. So it is fully possible for the Force to keep the Stormtroopers from hitting certain characters due to their importance to the fate of the universe. Or to make it more Star Warsian, the Force protects the people who can most capably bring balance to the Force. But droids know I'm alive, you say. Why save the droids, you ask? Well, in this gunfight on the space corvette, R2 is important for obvious reasons, but 3PO... Well, now it's time for a little headcanon. I've always felt that 3PO tells the story of the Star Wars. The original trilogy has been out for my entire life, and thus been the movies that I've always watched together. So to branch out to other movies, we can see the reason I have thought that the Golden Boy is the storyteller. Look at this part of Episode 6, when C-3PO is entertaining the Ewoks. He is telling the story of the Star War. He has been keeping track of everything. He says he isn't very good at telling stories, or at least not making them interesting anyway. But he has the whole tribe captivated by the tale of their adventures. Speaking of Episode 6, not every Stormtrooper is hopelessly weak-minded. Here we have one that shoots Leia. And speaking of shooting Leia, in that initial encounter with the Koopa Troopers on the blockade runner, this trooper turns out the lights for Leia with a stun boop. Direct hit. Center mass. Granted, this is much closer. To hop into a spin-off prequel thingy, in the Rogue One, they show Donnie Yen's character walk through a firefight at C-3PO's speed. Yet he doesn't get hit by the crossfire, and now a 90s marble-based board game theme song is playing in my head. You'll get caught up in the crossfire, crossfire, crossfire! Where am I? Oh, right. Donnie Yen is untouchable. He walks through the crossfire while chanting, "I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me," and makes it through the fray. The most easy target, and they show in-screen his absolute faith in the Force and the payoff of him making it, and achieving his goal. Then something else happens, and he stops proclaiming his faith. To sum up, Stormtroopers can and have shot characters on screen. And the reason for the misses, the Force partially controls their actions. The Force has a greater effect on the weak-minded. Many Stormtroopers are weak-minded, and the Force wants to be in balance. Zooming out, there seems to be a sine wave of light and dark side dominance in the Star Wars universe. Many Sith types, Sith wiped out by Jedi Council, and Republic reigns. Sith return. Execute Order 66. Rebels blow up 2 Death Stars. The Empire falls. New sequels screw up this analogy. Not the most airtight, but those were my observations about the Stormtroopers in the Star Wars. And this has been Movie Stuff and Things.
Superfake Films, we aim to entertain.